Welcome back, fellow explorers and researchers. Hudson Grey, here with you again. Today's video is a mashup of 4 topics already released on my channel. This compilation is intended to be put on in the background and listened to, perhaps at work or when relaxing. I hope you all enjoy. Please comment your thoughts, new video ideas, or your own personal Sasquatch encounter below. I look forward to hearing from you. Welcome to the Cryptid Account. My name is Hudson Grey. In this video, we will be taking a paranormal deep dive into the occult truth behind the creature known as Bigfoot. Thank you for joining me. We all think we know Bigfoot, the elusive creature, the mysterious figure that vanishes into the shadows of the forest. But what if I told you that Bigfoot isn't just a creature hiding from humans? What if Bigfoot's been hiding from something much, much darker? Tonight, we're diving into the deep end, into Bigfoot's connections with the occult. As we peel back the layers of sightings and lore, you'll start to see the signs that this is not just an undiscovered animal, but something far more terrifying. Let's start with the sightings themselves. We've all seen the grainy photos, the shaky videos, but what gets less attention are the truly bizarre stories, the ones that don't fit into the neat, simple narrative of a giant, ape-like creature running through the woods. In these accounts, witnesses claim something far stranger. They don't just see Bigfoot walking through the trees. No, what they describe is the creature vanishing. Not into the distance, not behind a tree, but into thin air. It's like the creature phases out of existence, as if it was never really there to begin with. Take the Sierra Camp incident, for example. Back in the 1970s, a group of experienced hunters stumbled upon something deeply unsettling. In the remote Sierra Nevada mountains, they began hearing what they called samurai chatter, guttural vocalizations coming from the woods that sounded almost human, but not quite. As the sounds persisted night after night, the hunters began to feel like they were being watched. One night, they saw something large moving in the distance, but just as quickly as they saw it, it was gone, as if it had melted into the air. Audio recordings of the event are some of the clearest examples of Bigfoot vocalizations ever captured. The hunters were convinced this was no ordinary animal. They believed they had encountered something paranormal, perhaps a creature that exists in more than one dimension. Now, this idea of vanishing beings isn't just relegated to cryptozoology. It actually has deep roots in occult belief systems. In esoteric traditions, especially in practices tied to ancient shamanism and later Western occultism, there are stories of creatures that exist between worlds. These beings can step through portals, gateways between our reality and others. In this context, Bigfoot's mysterious disappearances start to take on a whole new meaning. It begins to resemble something more akin to a guardian of these portals, a being tasked with protecting boundaries between our world and what lies beyond. The Pacific Northwest connection is another important piece of the puzzle. This region is home to more Bigfoot sightings than almost anywhere else in the world, and it's no coincidence that this area is steeped in Native American lore. Tribes such as the Coast Salish and the Lummi people speak of the Tizimeques, a giant, hairy being that roams the forests. But these tribes never viewed Bigfoot as a mere animal. To them, this creature is a spiritual being, possibly even a harbinger of supernatural events, or a protector of the natural world. They warn that seeing the Tizimeques is not just a sighting, it's an omen, a sign of an imbalance in the forces that hold the universe together. But it's not just the idea of Bigfoot as a dimensional traveler that raises questions. Another deeply unsettling connection to the occult lies in the strange phenomena that often accompany sightings, glowing orbs of light appearing just moments before or after the creature is seen. These lights are reported by hunters, hikers, and even people casually driving down forest roads, seemingly dancing in the sky or flitting between the trees. What are these lights? To the untrained observer, it might seem like coincidence, maybe swamp gas or distant headlights, but in occult traditions, these lights have long been associated with otherworldly entities. They're thought to be manifestations of energy, signals from the spirit world, or even physical signs of rituals being performed. Occultists and practitioners of ceremonial magic talk of these lights as a sort of beacon, a sign that the veil between worlds is thinning. And if that's true, then the appearance of these lights alongside Bigfoot sightings takes on a much darker significance. It suggests that we're dealing with something far more than an elusive forest creature. Let's go back to Stan Gordon's UFO Bigfoot investigations in Pennsylvania in the 1970s. Gordon, a renowned paranormal investigator, received numerous reports from rural residents claiming that they had seen glowing orbs and strange lights right before or after encountering Bigfoot-like creatures. One witness, a farmer, claimed that he saw a large, hairy figure step into a beam of light emitted by a glowing orb and disappear without a trace. It's cases like these that blur the line between cryptozoology and the supernatural. Are Bigfoot and UFOs connected? Or is it possible that both phenomena originate from the same unknown dimension? These lights often correspond with regions that are known as paranormal hotspots. But what most people don't know is that these hotspots align with ancient geographic markers known as ley lines, an occult concept that stretches back thousands of years. Ley lines are invisible pathways of energy that crisscross the earth, and many sacred sites, such as Stonehenge, the pyramids, and certain Native American mounds, are thought to sit directly on these lines. Now here's where things get particularly disturbing. Bigfoot sightings tend to cluster along ley lines. These lines are believed to carry immense power. Power that certain beings, possibly including Bigfoot, can harness. Some researchers even speculate that these ley lines are points where different dimensions intersect. And if that's the case, could Bigfoot be more than just a physical guardian of these lines? Could it be an interdimensional being, or worse, a sentinel for something far darker lurking in the energetic patterns of the earth? This leads us to another chilling connection: rituals. In esoteric belief systems, especially those tied to ancient mysticism, there is the idea that certain beings can be summoned. This isn't just New Age speculation. It's rooted in ancient texts and grimoires, books filled with spells and rituals designed to invoke otherworldly entities. Among these entities are beings that protect the natural world, creatures that ensure the balance between dimensions remains intact. Could Bigfoot be one of them? One striking case took place in California's Mount Shasta in the 1970s. Mount Shasta is a well-known paranormal hotspot, a region where reports of UFOs, mysterious disappearances, and strange lights in the sky are commonplace. But what's often overlooked is that this mountain is also considered a spiritual hub, believed to be a center of cosmic energy and even a portal to other dimensions. A small group of occultists claimed they had summoned a creature after performing a ritual on the mountain. They reported hearing heavy breathing and footsteps surrounding their camp before a large, shadowy figure appeared near the fire. Some believed that this Bigfoot was not merely an elusive cryptid, but a guardian of these interdimensional energies that flow through Mount Shasta. These stories sound far-fetched, but they echo reports from across North America, accounts of hikers or occult practitioners who venture deep into the wilderness only to never return. In some cases, their gear is found, tents slashed, backpacks ripped apart, but no trace of the people. What's chilling is that these disappearances often coincide with known ley lines and Bigfoot sighting locations. Could it be that Bigfoot is summoned to these places to protect something? Or perhaps Bigfoot is drawn to rituals because it is itself a creature of ritual, a being that exists not just in our world, but in others, a sentinel standing guard over dimensional rifts. If that's true, then the question becomes, what is Bigfoot guarding us from? Or, what is he guarding from us? So, next time you find yourself in the deep woods, Remember, Bigfoot might not just be a creature of legend. It might be the last thing standing between us and forces we can't even comprehend. Forces tied to the dark energies of the earth, rituals forgotten, or perhaps better left forgotten. And for those brave enough to seek out the truth, remember this: Bigfoot may be watching. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Hudson Grey. Please like and subscribe for more paranormal deep dives. Thank you. Is this the most realistic evidence for Sasquatch ever found? Welcome back to the channel, fellow seekers of the unknown. I'm Hudson Grey, and today we're diving into some of the most realistic evidence ever found for the elusive Sasquatch. From footprints that challenge our understanding of primate physiology, to DNA from an unknown creature that leaves us with more questions than answers, and eerie audio recordings that have left seasoned experts scratching their heads. Let's dig deep into three of the most compelling pieces of evidence that suggest Sasquatch is not just a myth, but a real creature evading human detection. Footprint evidence. Jeffrey Meldrum's collection. Let's start with footprints. Over 300 casts of alleged Sasquatch footprints reside in the lab of Dr. Jeffrey Meldrum at Idaho State University. These aren't just random impressions. Meldrum is a professor of anatomy and anthropology, specializing in primate locomotion. The key here is consistency. These oversized human-like prints have distinct anatomical markers, mid-tarsal breaks, consistent toe patterns, and even signs of weight distribution that match a bipedal creature far larger than any human. According to Meldrum, the chance of this evidence being hoaxed is minuscule, considering the level of detail and variation in these prints, many of which were collected decades apart. If it's a hoax, it's the most sophisticated one ever pulled off. Footprints like these suggest that something massive, something not yet categorized by science, is walking the forests of North America. DNA evidence, the Ketchum study. DNA is where the story takes an even more fascinating turn. Dr. Melba Ketchum's controversial study claimed to have sequenced DNA from samples attributed to Sasquatch. The results? The mitochondrial DNA, the part passed down from the mother, was human. But the nuclear DNA, inherited from both parents, was unknown, not matching any known primate. Ketchum concluded that Sasquatch might be a hybrid species, sharing some ancestry with humans, but remaining largely unclassified by modern science. Of course, the scientific community largely dismissed the study, but what if we're on the brink of something revolutionary? What if these samples are glimpses into a hidden primate, one that has existed alongside us for millennia? Imagine the implications. A species unknown to science right under our noses in the deep forests of the Pacific Northwest, perhaps even further. Audio recordings, the Sierra Sounds. Now let's talk about audio. The Sierra Sounds, recorded by Ron Moorhead and Al Berry in the early 1970s, are considered some of the best vocal evidence for Sasquatch. These recordings capture a series of vocalizations, howls, growls, and eerie whooping sounds in the remote Sierra Nevada mountains. What sets these sounds apart is that they were analyzed by cryptolinguists and audio experts, who confirmed that the vocal range is beyond that of human capabilities. Dr. Robert Lieberman, an audio expert, even suggested that the creatures responsible for these sounds stood at least 7.5 feet tall, based on the depth and resonance of their vocalizations. I will now play a snippet from the original recordings by Ron Moorhead and Al Berry.
You're trying to talk to this.
The recordings suggest communication, almost like a primitive language, and while skeptics argue it could be faked, the clarity and complexity of the sounds make that hard to believe. If this is truly the voice of Sasquatch, then we're dealing with a creature capable of far more than we ever imagined. So there you have it. Footprints that defy explanation, DNA that hints at a hidden species, and audio recordings that shake the foundations of what we know about primate communication. Could this be the proof we've been waiting for? Or are we still grasping at shadows in the woods? If you enjoyed the deep dive and want more, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss out on our journey into the unknown. Keep your eyes open and your mind ready. My name is Hudson Grey. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time. Is the government covering up Bigfoot? This is the top 3 government cover-ups involving evidence of Sasquatch. When it comes to Bigfoot, it's easy to dismiss stories as campfire legends, but there are moments in history that make you wonder, is the truth being hidden from us? Today, we're diving into 3 major events where governments may have stepped in to keep the Sasquatch mystery buried. Number 1. The Mount St. Helens eruption of 1980. The eruption of Mount St. Helens in Washington was one of the most destructive natural disasters in modern U.S. history. However, what the public didn't know was what allegedly surfaced amidst the ash and rubble. Several rescue workers reported finding more than just human remains. 2 large, charred bodies were said to be discovered, described as massive ape-like creatures, Sasquatch. These bodies, according to some rescuers, were quickly covered with tarps and taken away by military personnel. The story doesn't stop there. Rumors swirled that some rescuers even encountered live Sasquatch, critically injured but alive, with severe burns. One even led them to more injured Sasquatch, only for the entire ordeal to be classified and sealed away from the public. One chilling detail, after the bodies were whisked away, military debriefings allegedly told the witnesses to stay quiet for national security reasons. But we have to ask, what was really going on? Number 2. The Ape Canyon Incident, 1924. Now, for this one, we have to go back further in time to Ape Canyon, a remote and rugged part of the Cascade Mountains, not far from Mount St. Helens. In the summer of 1924, a group of miners encountered something they would never forget. According to their accounts, they were attacked by several large, ape-like creatures during the night. These creatures hurled rocks at their cabin, trying to break in. One miner claimed to have shot and killed one of the creatures, watching it fall over a cliff. However, when forest rangers were called in to investigate, no bodies were found. The miners insisted they weren't imagining things, but the official report conveniently labeled it all as tall tales, brushing off the enormous tracks they had found as faked footprints. Here's where it gets suspicious. Local rumors suggest that rangers may have destroyed evidence and possibly recovered the creature's body, only to keep it hidden. Why? Because a confirmed encounter with an unknown species like Bigfoot would shake the foundations of everything we know about the natural world. It would demand attention that some powers simply don't want. Number 3. The Great Smoky Mountains Mystery. Our last story takes us to the Great Smoky Mountains National Park in the 1970s, where a strange pattern of disappearances was unfolding. Hikers and hunters were vanishing without a trace in areas where sightings of large bipedal creatures were frequently reported. One ranger who had been investigating these disappearances allegedly tracked a creature deep into the wilderness. What he found was beyond strange. Remains that didn't belong to any known species, possibly Sasquatch. But before he could dig deeper, the government stepped in. High-ranking officials were said to have quickly taken over the case, halting the investigation and silencing the ranger. He was relocated soon after, and the case was quietly closed. These types of government interventions, swift, without explanation, raise all kinds of questions. What was found in those woods, and why were the findings buried? Could it be that Bigfoot, or whatever this creature might be, is something we're not supposed to know about? So, what do you think? Is it possible that the government is actively covering up the existence of Sasquatch? These stories might just be the tip of the iceberg. As always, I leave it up to you to decide. If you enjoyed this dive into Bigfoot conspiracy theories and want to join me for more, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a story. This has been Hudson Grey at Cryptid Account, where the truth is always stranger than fiction. Please like, comment, and subscribe. You are all greatly appreciated. I am eager to hear your experiences with our big-footed friend in the comments below. Until next time, thank you. Dogman vs. Bigfoot, The Ultimate Showdown. Narrated by Hudson Grey. Please like, comment, and of course, subscribe. You are each greatly appreciated. Thank you. Without further ado, here are my thoughts on what would happen if Bigfoot and the legendary Dogman went toe-to-toe. Deep within the shadowy wilderness, two cryptid legends dominate the night. Bigfoot, the towering giant of the forest, and Dogman, the savage predator lurking in the dark. But what would happen if these two powerful creatures ever crossed paths? Would it be a standoff, or would one emerge victorious in a fight to the death? The legendary combatants. First, let's break down what we know about each cryptid, starting with Bigfoot. Towering anywhere between 8 and 10 feet tall, Bigfoot is said to possess immense physical strength, enough to uproot trees or hurl boulders with ease. But there's more to this creature than just raw power. Reports suggest it's highly intelligent, possibly even capable of understanding and evading human traps. Some say Bigfoot may even have supernatural abilities, including the ability to vanish without a trace. Could Bigfoot's strength and intelligence give it the upper hand? Now, let's talk about Dogman. While smaller than Bigfoot, standing at around 7 feet tall, Dogman is built for combat. With razor-sharp claws, heightened senses, and the speed of a predator, Dogman's advantage lies in its agility and ferocity. Described as a bipedal wolf with human-like qualities, it has been cited relentlessly hunting prey. Some say its glowing eyes and terrifying howls can strike fear into even the bravest souls. The theoretical fight. Now imagine the fight. Bigfoot, with its massive size and strength, could rely on brute force, grabbing and crushing anything in its path. But Dogman wouldn't go down without a fight. It's quicker, more agile, and equipped with natural weaponry, claws, teeth, and predatory instincts honed for battle. Dogman might rely on hit-and-run tactics, using its speed to wear Bigfoot down. But once Bigfoot gets a hold of Dogman, that size and raw strength could turn the tide of the battle. Picture this, a struggle where every move is critical. Dogman's speed versus Bigfoot's crushing grip. It would be a savage fight, one for the ages. Who wins? So who would win? Some might argue Bigfoot, with its immense power and potential paranormal abilities, would eventually overpower Dogman. Others would say Dogman's relentless attack style and primal aggression make it the more formidable opponent. The truth is, there's no clear answer. Personally, I lean toward Bigfoot, but I'm curious, what do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Would Dogman's ferocity win out, or would Bigfoot's legendary strength claim victory? Let's settle this debate once and for all. Whoever the winner might be, one thing's for sure. If these two cryptids ever meet, it'll be a showdown we'll never forget. Stay tuned for more cryptid battles, lore, and deep dives into the unknown. Until next time, Hudson Grey, signing off.